The night started off as just a camping trip with the intention of getting drunk. Much to my dismay, all of the local stores were closed early for some reason. Lacking any other substance to initiate oddity during the evening, a compatriot and myself decided to take Harmala. He took a dosage of about 2 gm concentrated Harmala crude extract, citric acid extraction method, while I took approximately 6 to 8 grams of finely blended seed, administered by mixing it with squirt and kicking it back. Tasted horrible, and I'd recommend anyone trying to duplicate this plug their nose before drinking. We then went and procured approximately 15 grams of cannabis while the Harmala took effect, about an hour. The pure Harmala effects are difficult to describe because they seemed very subtle and elusive. I'd say I had a definiate, buzzing feeling, though the buzzing vibration seemed to be on a lower frequency than the buzz-associated alcohol or the beginning of mushrooms, LSD experiences. Also, I noticed a bit of fuzziness to the thought process, as well as a generic lack of clarity to my visual field. We smoked the cannabis via a pipe, and listened to music for a while next to the fire. After about 4 bowls, it should be noted that this took half an hour, but seemed to take hours. I was definitely high. But it was far more intense and mental than a typical high. My friend noted this as well. Progressing into the evening, it took only about 30 minutes before strong level 3 visual hallucinations occurred. These were not limited to patterns morphing into similarly shaped objects but faces, objects and bodies appearing out of seemingly nowhere. For instance, a piece of wood burning within the fire became like a movie screen showing pictures of heroes, conquest and cloudscapes in a very classical Greco-Roman style. This was just one style encountered, though all were incredibly abstract but easily recognizable as containing significant subconscious message. Of a spiritual variety, hallucinations were not limited to the visual, though. Audial hallucinations were strong and completely mind-bending. My friend and I both swore we heard growling, howling, screeching that one would typically associate with Hollywood-type sound effects from Jurassic Park, Star Wars or other such high-budget films. By late evening, my experience could definitely have fallen into the category of tripping, rather than high. Unlike mushrooms or LSD, though, this trip had no feeling of excessive energy or inability to fall asleep. All told, the entire experience extended for less than 5 hours, midnight to 5 a.m., with effects taper and but was incredibly intricate. Anything done was distorted by the quickly onsetting visual distortions. All told, I spent about $4 myself, for both the cannabis and Harmala, and got higher than I've ever gotten off cannabis and as high as I would have on about 3 or 4 grams of mushrooms, about $40 bucks Erowid. Und here. I do have to warn, though. There was very intense paranoia, especially when the audial hallucinations kicked in. I had quite a few experiences in the span of 5 hours that would have been terrifying by normal standards, but conversely, I was very aloof and unconcerned about how afraid I was.